What if your reels are not really the problem, but your profile is? Because recently I had hundreds of expert creators apply to get roasted here, and the pattern I kept seeing is the reason people actually watch one reel and then they disappear and nothing happens. They never follow, they never become clients, especially with the recent algorithm changes. What happens after somebody watches your first reel counts way more than anything else. So let me show you how to fix that with 4 reel profiles. So here's the first one that we have right here. It's Mark, and he actually thinks he has a hooks problem. Most of you actually do, but it's not if we look a little bit below the surface. So he basically says, if you look here, our retention is just not good. Our hooks constantly underperform. And if we take a look at the reel that he sent me in here, he wants me to take a look at this because the hook sucks with this one. We can see it's actually pretty bad. It's a pretty big, steep drop off right here, right? You don't want anything to look like this, right? And even afterwards, it continues to drop until it's roughly, I would say, 20 seconds in. So let's take a look at the reel first, and then we'll deconstruct this whole thing, and I'll show you why the hook is actually not the problem at all. I mean, it's a symptom.
I do not own one single stock.
How come? Why don't you own stocks? You think real estate's better?
I think I have more control.
Okay, so first of all, the reel is just really boring, to tell you the truth, and the hook is not there. I give you that. We can see that right here with the drop off, and there's so many factors at play here. First of all, let's take a look at his profile. First impressions matter more than anything else with your hooks, obviously with your content, but also with the whole everything together. So we're talking about profile picture, your content, your landing pages, just everything together. And if we're just to look at this one right here, we see, okay, Mark Rice Real Estate, investor friendly realtor, Columbus, Ohio. Cool, right? So first impression looks pretty professional, right? He has a professional picture. He smiles, looks a little vanilla, to be honest, but it's all right because he doesn't have to basically attract me. He has to attract whoever his ICP, his target audience is, which are people that want to invest, right, in real estate, I guess. Now, put yourself into your target audience's shoes, okay? They find you through some piece of content. We'll get into this in a second. But then they come here. They see your picture, all good, investor-friendly realtor. So, okay, you got my curiosity. But here, it's totally crushed. Because, first of all, you're helping real estate investors scale. Okay, so let's assume I'm a real estate investor that wants to scale. Then we see realtor 1 to 4 plus 5 to 20 plus, it's even hard to read, unit properties. So like I said, question mark, investor 75 plus doors owned. Okay, flex, weird flex, bro. And then glamping developer. At this point, I understand, okay, it's his things that he's doing. Do we care at this point? No. Does it confuse us? Yeah. Because we care about ourselves. I'm a real estate investor that wants to scale, and that's it, right? It's cool to see that you're actually a realtor, an investor, and then some other things. But it's just way too much coming at us at once, right? Talking about cognitive load, and people just getting flooded with so much information, so they can't even do anything with this, right? Realtor, investor, lots of numbers, glamping developer. So you introduce basically some aspect of this whole thing that's way more advanced. So that just like might shy people away or make people even more confused. By the way, if you want to be included in one of these next roasts, there's a link down below, obviously totally for free. Just sign up and maybe I'll pick you. So first point right here, with everything, especially with your bio and with your profile on Instagram, never confuse people, okay? You need to be really, really careful and really clear who is your target audience, your ICP. I call it your one true fan, right? The actual person that in this case is a potential customer, right? A high lifetime value customer that stays with you for a while. And that gets me right into the actual major problem that is the reason why you can't get views. Looking back at this particular one, is it in alignment with what your buyer audience, with what your actual target audience wants to see or even trusts in this case? You're sitting there like in a weird post, to be honest, with sort of low quality content. I know you're trying with some lighting and stuff like this, but the problem right here, like just here, like within the first 3 seconds, we see, okay, this person, we don't know who this person is. Obviously it's you, but always assume somebody comes in there, has never seen you before. And you're like, I don't own any real estate stocks, basically one single stock. And then it instantly cuts away to like somebody else who frankly looks like he's 12, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but in this case, it totally is, depending on who you want to attract right here. Because I don't think real estate investors, let's say I'm a real estate investor, which I am. I see this, I'm like, okay, trust is instantly gone. I'm not going to listen to a 12-year-old dude or let him be 20. right? Unfortunately, the age with whoever that is just plays totally against you in this case because the target audience alignment is off. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. I've started my journey also when I looked like a kid, right? I was 25 or something that looked like 12 as well. I've noticed people just did not take me seriously, and things are only slowly getting better in certain things, but it's just the case. And that whole thing kind of shines through your whole content. Point being, let's say somebody's like, okay, I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's like at least the profile is good. Let's see what he has to offer. And if you think about it, at this point, there's already 2 or 3 sort of hurdles that somebody has to overcome, which is first of all, the content itself and the hook and the thing with the young dude. So most people are gone at this stage, right? They swipe away and we can see that totally right here, right? This is basically what I just said, just the data proof for that. Okay. Most people are gone. Some people click on your profile then, but then there's a second hurdle. Here, let's put it like that. What we said before, which is this. Lots of numbers and lots of confusion down there, okay? So first hurdle, second hurdle, right? So at this point, you lost 90% of people already that are in your target audience. Let's assume somebody were to be like, okay, I'll give you really because something about the way you move or speak is something that's just interesting for me. And this is like 5 to 10% of people that are left. Take a look at your profile all the way down there. And here it actually starts to look really pretty interesting already. Not bad. But suddenly I see Dave Ramsey twice here, right? Which I'm like, okay, what's he trying to do? Like, what's going even on? Point being, just from a first impression standpoint, from all the stages, you're just done. And this is why nobody's going to follow you, why nobody's going to care. So point being right here, just think about your first impressions in every stage of your content funnel, starting from the hook, starting from your profile highlights. We haven't talked about this yet, but I don't like the way they look, to what somebody sees when they scroll down, to your link tree, to everything that comes downstream right there, right? We'll not talk about this here. We can talk about this maybe on my second channel that's more geared towards the whole business side of things. But the point being, get to know your target audience and align everything with that. Put yourself really into their shoes. No compromises right here because it's crowded on, especially Instagram. So optimize everything. And yeah, then the rest will follow. Now, here's the thing. Most people actually have the exact same problem. And it's currently the #1 problem I see across the board. So the second profile that we have right here has a similar version of that, just in a different suit. Let's put it that way. And you also might recognize yourself taking a look there. By the way, again, if you want me to take a look at your profile, link is down below. You'll be put in the raffle. And like I said, some of you might be able to get one. This is Ellie. Okay, travel, not Evie. Or Evie, I don't even know how to pronounce that, travel and content creator. And the funny thing is, she actually diagnosed her problem herself. She said, let me just pull it up right here, she's not turning posts and reels into sales or collaboration proposals. So yeah, she's having trouble attracting the right kinds of people, again, target audience, that want to become her clients or whatever it is, right? So she actually kind of knows it's not really a views problem. It's actually something that's way further down the line, but she set up her profile as if she still thinks it is a views problem right there. Yeah, let's put ourselves into the shoes of somebody who's never seen her before. Travel and content creator, that alone, to tell you the truth, Instagram was basically built for traveling content creators. And this was the first niche that was flooded with crappy content 5 years ago already, right? It's just like travelers, oh, we're traveling around, we're enjoying life, and we'll just show you this curated art feed of beautiful destinations that you can't go because you can't afford it, bitch. So people started to get sick of travel creators first, way before they got sick of anything else. So you first of all have to kind of know what you're playing against right here. So if we look here, inspiring your next adventure around the world, okay? Very basic, right? Everyone's inspiring me. Why would I need to be inspired? That's the thing. What's your target audience, right? To come back to this. Then something interesting comes into play, helping your Australian dream come true. And then we have a flag and another flag in there, Italy and UK. Hopefully it's Italy and UK. This would be super embarrassing. Travel guides, resources, one-on-one consults, and more. Okay, just looking at this one right here, like what's the one-on-one consult for, right? To help me travel around the world or help my Australian dream come true. What is this Australian dream? Why would somebody have an Australian dream? Honestly, I have no idea. So let's see if we can kind of spot it. If we just take a look here, I hope these are your actual pictures that you took yourself. I hope so. Pictures just don't work anymore, honestly. So yeah. Another thing is, because I see you hopefully right there, it's lacking the personal brand. We have like a very good profile picture. It's actually very good. I would give the profile picture 10 out of 10 in this case. Contrasty, nice colors. You look at the camera, but it doesn't come through in the profile itself at all, right? If I take a look at your profile, it kind of looks like a curated, one of these old school travel pages that worked in 2017 a little bit. And then everybody got sick of them. The whole content strategy consists of just like basically like trendy clips, and these call them nowadays actually low effort clips because yeah, they are just easy to create and AI can make them at this point. And whatever AI can do without any effort, it's off the table for humans because people are sick of it, whether they already know it or not. Right? So right now, I couldn't even know why I should follow you, right? And to kind of unlock the why somebody should follow you, you usually have to start by kind of figuring out what is it that you actually sell or that you want to sell. This needs to be at the first stage of everything, because content strategy, everything comes downstream from that. So let's continue here. And honestly, I've been here for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I still can't tell. So the algorithm can't tell as well. Plus, people for sure can't tell within 10 seconds because that's all they have. So yeah, on the content part, unfortunately, right now, literally is a 0 out of 10, right? We're in 2026. The bar is a little different. But let's try to find out what you actually do. Travel guides and much more. Start your Australian, what's a WHV journey? Work, holiday, vacation. But there you go. We have an offer. I found your offer in the second link of your bio. Start your Australian journey. One-on-one consultations to help you prepare, plan, and make the most of your working holiday experience. Okay, working holiday. Okay. Apparently that's the thing. The first big thing I see, can I get a refund? Don't put this front and center if you actually believe in your offer. And the second thing, by the way, that I see right now, again, people follow people. People need to relate to other people, especially right now with the whole AI thing and people like getting sick of ChatGPT and Claude. Just the other day, I'm so annoyed by Claude recently because it's just going crazy. So people need the human element. On your content, it's not there at all, except for your profile picture. On your page, I guess it's you right here. But the most important element is cut off, the trust element, which is your eyes. But we have an offer. So basically, people from abroad that want to move to Australia for work and holiday and whatever that means. Totally in misalignment with everything you do right here. Obviously, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to buy. Nobody even knows because they can't tell. So point one, pick your lane. This is your lane, okay? Every piece of content going downstream from here needs to answer this problem and cater to this one specific problem, which is people want to move to Australia for this whatever visa or whatever that is. Every facet of it, that's it. That's your lane. Don't veer off path. We talked about this on my second channel the other day. Point being, if you want to grow an audience that cares about you and that eventually wants to buy from you, you need to stop using trendy reels, right? That are just like 7-second reels that have something, a quote, or just something lighthearted. People don't relate with this. They really never have. There was a short period where it worked, but these times are over. And what I see a lot of gurus talk about this because it's easy views and things like that, but they get you views, but they just will not build your brand. They will not grow your audience with potential clients and leads, not at all. So to kind of wrap this one up, the fix right here is actually not creating more content. It's first of all, again, thinking of the first impression that your target audience has, and then just posting more content. It's actually, first of all, figuring out what the content is that you need to post more of. Otherwise, it's just this whole mess. Even right here, your pinned post is something about going to Iceland with that is the wrong format. So you confuse people even more, thinking again about the first impression right here. So think of your offer first and what you want to sell in your real target audience, and everything follows there. Okay, so the next one is one that kind of looks like he's doing a lot of the things right that we already talked about. Yet there's a few elements that totally wreck everything again right here, and it has to do with the first impression. Unfortunately, yet again, his name is Scott, and he actually says he's not a man of a lot of words. He says his problem is not a big enough reach. Fair enough, but actually specifically took this one here because most people come in with exactly this. They see low reach and nothing works, and then they assume the playbook is to just try to go viral at all costs. Chase hook lists or trends and all these things, posting more of the wrong things, which is coincidentally going to get you less views and things like that. Again, with all the things we already talked about so far, first impressions, obviously we know the profile picture is bad. It's like hard to spot. It's red on red. There's like text that just completely makes you. I mean, if we just take a look at her before, we see, okay, it's an outline and it's a person and there's some contrast. Here, it's not the case at all. It's just like one big mash of things. Yeah, we can see you're ripped, but it can be way better. You have better pictures there. Down there. So one thing that's really, really good, and this is why I took this, because the potential here is insane. You say, I help men and women 40 plus who refuse to feel old, which is like a perfect perfect target audience. People need that. People want that. I've worked with some clients in a similar space, and this is just like one of the things that works. Now, again, the problem here is in the alignment with who your target audience is, who you think it is, and what they actually consume. And it's very similar to the first profile that we took a look at before, which is basically he wants to attract investors. And then there's a 5-year-old guy basically asking the questions in there. So not in alignment. For you, it's a little similar yet multifaceted. Because first of all, you say you help men and women 40 plus who refuse to feel old. Here's the thing. I understand lots of fitness people come to me and they want to reach women and men. A lot of the times that actually works offline, right? If you work with people already offline because they know you, because it's different dynamics. Online, I see that rarely works because people need to identify themselves with one or the other, hopefully. But women necessarily don't want to follow somebody who's like, yeah, I help men as well and women, unless the woman wants to be more like a man, or the other way around. You can be a man and just want to work with women. Totally okay too. Works as well. But honestly, that's already in alignment and could, just that little thing could cost you a lot of clients, honestly. Now, the same thing that I said before is true here as well. Most of your videos, if not all of your videos are, so I'll talk about the carousels, but right now the videos are just 5 seconds. This one is 4 seconds long. You open up a lot. So you're actually putting a lot of things in there. That is great content, right? So you're not taking the easy way out. You actually put in a lot of effort in your content. But in 2026, this effort goes to waste if you create content like this. For some certain niches, it works still a little bit. But like I said before, it's not going to attract high ticket, high quality viewers if you don't do anything else. Viewers and obviously potential clients, right? So take the same effort and create a video with it, for example, or carousels with it. If you're like, I don't want to create videos. Honestly, everyone needs to create videos if you really want to make money with social media. But carousels obviously are the big runner-up. So the truth about dating in your 50s, nobody wants to admit. By 50, you're not dating to fill a gap anymore. You're dating to share your life you finally love. So this is already honestly pretty good. Honestly, why did this not? Okay. Okay, it did perform. So it makes sense. So 3 days ago, there's your path. I don't really like the way this is edited. It's a little hard to read and it's a little off, but just goes to show this is your money magnet right there. Just look at the difference here. Just look at the difference here. 100 likes, 50 likes, 2,000 likes. Now, with that being said, here's what I usually tell my clients that struggle with the same or a very similar problem. Because what you're doing here is, it seems like you're filming and creating content for the wrong age group, for the wrong demographics. Again, the wrong target audience. Because a 50-year-old guy, for example, that you want to help probably doesn't watch 7-second clips with some trendy, bouncy audio. So the actual real fix here is understanding how does your real target audience, the one that actually buys from you, consume social media content. Chances are they're not on Instagram. They are in your case, because I know, but chances are they're not. But what we usually do is, especially if you already have clients, offline clients, or even online clients, I have my clients hop on calls, video calls, whatever, Instagram calls, and I make them ask basically, what type of content do you watch? Right? How do you watch it? What are you missing from content? What else would you love to see? And you'd be surprised. So many people come back at me and they're like, this was the biggest unlock. Now I finally know what people really want. And coincidentally, a lot of the times it's actually the unlock between them creating content that just blows everything else out the water, because they dare to be a little different. All right, cool. So if you like this type of thing, let me know, first of all, what I should take a look at next, who I should take a look at next, down below, right? put yourself in if you want to be there. But knowing you and having seen a bunch of, I actually check out way more people here, hooks are usually the second biggest issue that people have. And using the wrong hook advice will actually hold you back from attracting the right kinds of followers, right kinds of viewers, leads from your content. So watch this video next where I'll show you how to actually structure your hooks so you attract the right kinds of people.